What's up, world, and welcome back to the Global Frequency. I am your host, Nefarious. And tonight we have got with us Travis Gibb, founder of Orange Cone Comics, here to talk to us all about his current comic book crowdfunding campaign, Voodoo Nations 1 through 4, now funding on Kickstarter. Travis,
Hello.
welcome back to the channel.
How are you guys?
Hello,
We are doing well. How about you, sir?
Good. Excited to be here. And this is the first one of the year, so this is excited.
Yeah, it's early. We're just turning into March, so still Q1. Now, we've had you on, I don't know how many times now. It was
I probably
broke down.
Yeah. Am I the most? I think I'm probably the most.
You're probably the most. Well, I mean, you
think
do
so.
the most. That's the thing,
fair.
you know.
That's
You just keep doing. I just signed in to go look at your page because I wanted to have the Kickstarter in front of me so that we could talk about it. And I noticed you've done 25 Kickstarters, but you've also backed over 1,000. So, like I said, you do the most. You know what I mean? But I think, we've had you on for Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies, Voodoo Nations, Expired, Cthulhu Invades, Granite State, another Cthulhu Invades, a third Cthulhu Invades. I mean, and now you're back for Voodoo Nations 4. Soon you'll be doing Coins of Judas, the trade paperback, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Where do you find time to do all of this stuff, man, and still have, like a real life?
Well, Nev, you and I were in New Hampshire or Baltimore. I don't remember where, but one of them, you looked at me and you're like, Travis, how do you have the time to do all these projects? And the secret is I need to do about 300 pages of scripts that it was due in February. And I don't think I'm going to get it. You just keep plugging away and getting one done at a time, and try not to get people mad, and try to, whoever's waiting for art next is the person who gets the script next, right?
Gotcha.
Keep 'em in
Yep.
pages,
I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like a little bit behind the 8 ball. I've got 3 artists that I'm working with. We're progressing in scripts, kind of like you said, this, then this, then this, and then we go back this and this and this. And finishing scripts, it can be a really time consuming endeavor, right? Like this today, I've been working for 4, maybe 5 hours, and I've got 3 pages out of it. I know I'm slow, but that's the type of like time commitment that it takes for me. So when I say, how do you do it? Like, how long does it take you? How quickly can you crank these things out? And how do you do it maintaining all of these other things that you have to do, like, work?
Yeah. For me, it's worse because I have ADD. So I can, Mo Bills is here. So either I'm going to be loved or hated. I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
Both.
Which is great. It's exciting. You never know what you're going to get.
We should say hi to the chat real quick. Let Frequency Girl do her thing. She says hello to everybody. I have to flick over to the studio.
Hello to Mo Biggs.
Yep, we've got Mo.
Officially streamed. We're back on. This is our first Monday, I think, that we've done.
Been a while. Yeah, we got Snuggie with us. We got Miranda May as well.
Hello.
What is up, Miranda? Thank you so much for tuning in. I think that's it right now. Cool.
Yeah, we have some people. Here we go.
Some person.
I was just saying we have some people joining us because the number just went up, and it was indeed some person.
Everything Mo does is out of love. Yes, he is tough but fair.
That is true.
It's
So
fair and balanced. Yeah. So for me, it's I have ADD, which makes it so much worse. So what that means is I can work on a script all week and accomplish nothing till Friday, right? Like I was working on it, but there's the internet. There is, real work. There is the marketing of the previous work. There's this, and then I get to it all stuff. The positive is though, when I get the focus, I'm good. Like I can do 10 pages, 10 to 12 pages when I'm good. It's just, I have to regularly make sure I sit to hopefully it's a 10 to 12 page day. Because if I miss it for that week of my one good zone, it's going to be another week or two before
No,
I can
for real. My editor is crawling up my butt with a hot poker, being like, "So is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done
And
yet?"
it's not me.
It's not her.
The main editor.
No, it's Chris. And I agree with him. I gotta step up my pace. But it's just like you said, like the time flies by, and even when I'm not getting distracted, I'm like in the story. When I pull my head out, 3-4 hours have gone by.
Right.
And I'll be going back and I'll be tweaking things and I'll be.
He does a lot of pacing.
Yeah, I pace every morning.
You
It's
can
how
tell he's writing because he's
I get
just
my-
walking in
it's how I get my
circles around the
steps in.
house.
Do you ever, I mean, it's called peripatetic meditation, right? I think I'm pronouncing it that way. Miranda, back me up on this. Aristotle's form of meditation, walking around in a circle. Is that how you pronounce it? Peripatetic? I don't know. But Miranda would know. She's in the chat. Hopefully,
Aldous would probably
help me
also
out.
know. Hello, Aldous.
Yeah, Aldous would know. Mo would probably know. Mo knows
Mo knows
everything.
everything.
Right. So I mean, it's definitely a time consuming process, especially working on more than one thing. But I'm still impressed by the sheer amount and magnitude of the work that you're able to crank out, especially with your ADHD, man. You've put out so many pages, and I know you've been at this for a while, but just as long as I have known you, the stuff that you've cranked out is really impressive.
Yeah. It's impressive, but I hate to, it sounds egotistical, but I just want it. And you guys have been with me where I just want it more. Right? And I don't want to like say that other people don't want it or they don't like, I'm going to keep doing it because I need to. Like I just need to create more. Like I just need to get more out. And as I'm getting older, I'm just like, it's time's running out. Like I got to get as much down in the paper because the way I look at it sometimes when I'm in my like darkest state, like we're getting dark tonight. I'm like, I need to make sure that my kids can hear my voice, right? The kids who may not know me as well or don't know me as that adult, like I need them to hear me do this work and get some understanding of who I am because it's far better than what I promote on Facebook.
They say, I'm going back to Aristotle.
Well, I was going to interrupt you first so we don't get accused of gatekeeping because we were 1 minute late at start and Mo's already mad at us. It was a peripatetic attempt, in my opinion.
That was good. That was very good. Yeah, I noticed that. We got Shadowpunk with us too. Travis is addicted to the creative process, he says.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed. So you were saying time's running out. Aristotle in the last 10 years of his life wrote 10 books a year for 100 books. And I feel like that's kind of the direction that you're heading for. You keep ramping up the production, doing more and more and more each year.
More than 10 years with Travis, so let's break it up.
I mean, she's always worried about people dying, so
I'm not
I
a
agree.
fan of it,
I agree.
okay?
I think you'd probably get more than 10 books out of Travis before he dies.
Yeah, I don't think I'm dying. Like I don't feel I'm dying. I feel like I missed some years. As you guys know my origin story. I raised my kid, and I don't regret raising my kid. But that doesn't mean I don't feel I need to make up for lost time. And age is not kind to writers, especially when we're public, right? Like the older I get, the less relevant people feel I am, regardless of the work, right? Mark Waid right now is putting out some of the best work of his years, but you still go, Mark Waid's old.
Yeah, he is. He's old. I was accused of being, what is it, Bendizian in my my writing style, not my like word use or overwriting or descriptions, in the layout and pacing of my scripts. Have you
I
ever
don't agree with that.
Have you ever heard of that? Like the Bendis school of like cinematic storytelling? Is that a thing? Because I was accused of it. I was like, I didn't know it is a thing, guys.
Have you ever read Words and Pictures?
The big book?
He has not.
Yeah,
I read some of it and decided not
He
to.
made fun of me for getting it.
Yeah.
See, I think you'd
He's
really
like
like it.
1,000% Scott McCloud and like no one else.
Well, the reason why that's so good is
Little listener.
it shows you cater to each style. Like Bendis works with different artists with different styles and try to cater to that. And I try to do the same, right? So I try to cater to what people what people like to draw / what kind of pacing the story needs. It's hard, because I write very different stories. Granted, say Punk is very fast paced with lots of dialogue. Coins of Judas is very action based, not a lot of dialogue. And then we've got like a Voodoo Nations, which is live now, which is more spiritual and more slower paced. Not a lot of action, but the words mean a lot. Every word has more of a kick and more of a meaning than a normal book. So.
Yeah, I usually condense as much as I can. I try to like concentrate the writing. Lately, though, I haven't had the time to really spend with it. Like I said, like I'll only get 3 pages done, but I've been trying to crank it out as much as I can to just go, right. So whereas you're saying like each little bit, makes it feels like you're doing, what, like each word matters more, like you were saying about Voodoo, whereas in Granite State you use a lot more words.
Right.
It's a lot more fast paced. I try to like condense what I have my characters say to not be terse, but to be concentrated, to be
Succinct.
packed. Yeah, thank you, succinct. But sometimes it doesn't feel natural. I mean, if you look at the way that I'm speaking, I'm just vomiting words right now.
Well, I mean, you are the exception to the rule.
I always vomit words.
Yes.
Just verbal diarrhea.
Speaking of vomiting, no Aristotle / indigestion death jokes. Mildly disappointed.
Mo says Neff is feeling inspired. He hasn't cranked it out this much since Garrett went on a break. Damn, Mo.
Well, Garrett would never help him crank it out, so that's why. Yeah,
that's true. But Mo accuses me of cranking it out while Garrett's around. Yeah, we got Julius too. Julius Freeman stopped by. He's got a really great campaign on Kickstarter right now. He says, nice. What up? Just stopped by to say hello before my boss comes back in the office. I'll catch the replay. Have a great show. Awesome.
Is that the one you sent to me?
Yes, that is the campaign that I sent to you.
I just looked at it today. It fits all the criteria. He can come on Thursday.
Yeah, that's awesome. I will let him know. He's probably not here anymore. He probably popped in to say hi and ran away because he's got to get back to work, but I will let him know. We've been trying to get Julius some more visibility. I've been talking to some people about his book. I think it's a really cool looking book. Nice, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'll go to the mat for something that just doesn't seem like it's getting the attention that it needs. You lift everybody up. You've always got all of these creators around you that are, that you inspire, that you help promote. And I cherry pick, right? Like I'm like, oh, this one that I really like. That's right. Kind of Julius right now.
But going back to your stuff,
the sound of one hand clapping resounds. Okay, that's the flapping, I guess. I don't know. Can you share a link to his book? I can. Actually, I can't. Frequency Girl can. She can drop the link to Julius's book. But I think we should talk about your book right now, right, Travis?
Yeah.
This is the 4th
Travis
issue.
was also going to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally.
I wanted to talk. Yeah, before we go into my book, I want to talk to you about give you a little bit of pass to help you with your writing, maybe speed it up.
Yeah.
For you, your stuff's military, so you should be thinking that way. Every word they say matters because it's life or death. So it's quick stuff. It's not going to sound. We listen to a war general speech. They don't speak. It's mostly code. Like you need to be in the room. You need to know what's going on to understand it. So I think you're doing fine. And I think it just takes a little bit longer to write those. And then I've sat in cafes and bars with you and talked about the bigger ideas and stories and thoughts. I think it's a little bit harder to get those on the page for you. So don't beat yourself up, man. I think that you're doing a harder subject matter to tell those. I have something to say besides pew pew mech.
It's true. Apparently, people expect pew pew mech. Actually, I'll tell you some stuff in the back room after this. I don't want to talk, just out all my shit, all my dirty laundry on air.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Would. Yeah, I have plenty of stories to tell you, plenty of recent stories. But let's talk about Voodoo, right? This is the 4th book in the series. I think I can add it unless you've already got it. Yeah, you've already got it, right? There it is. So this is the 4th book in the series. How long has this series been going on? When did you start with Voodoo?
So luckily enough, you were in the beginning. I think you did the first Voodoo interview, 4 years ago when Luke Stone was part of it. I think Luke and I were both on your program at the time.
Yep.
Doing it.
Yeah, I think we even did like I think the second Voodoo, we did a collab, I guess. Garrett drew some Voodoo and Luke drew some Mavericks. And
I still haven't used that yet.
That was so cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I need to find that. Yeah, I've got that somewhere. But yeah, this is the fourth. This is supposed to be the final. But sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. This is one of those examples, and I needed a fifth issue, so there's a fifth one. But this is everything that I wanted in the fourth in the last issue, which is pretty cool. We got angels, we've got Grim Reapers, we've got a lot of cool next level stuff. Upping that level for the last arc, right? Going to the highest level before we bring it back down to do that final battle. RJ, our grand antagonist. So if you don't know, if you've never seen Voodoo, Voodoo's about two missionaries who go to Brazil. They meet up with a Voodoo priest, that guy there on the left, and they've traveled worldwide, seen all these Voodoos. The girl on the left is another Voodoo priest. People below them is all more Voodoo priests, kind of messing up their life, their marriage, kind of screwing everything up. And we're at the end of it. We find out that this gentleman, Bishop Lucas, has possessed her husband and taken him on a wild ride, and she's trying to reclaim his husband's soul, but that husband wants nothing to do with it. It's a very dark story about magic and voodoo. A lot of fun, highly adventure based. But what's cool about it is we don't just show the good and bad about voodoo. We show the good and bad of voodoo. We show the good and bad of Christianity. We do it all as we process through this tale. And I think I've told you the real origin of this story, right? Where it originally came from before.
I think you have, but why don't you refresh my memory and tell the people in the chat who weren't there?
Yeah. So when my mother died, I went insane. I went batshit crazy. Went to New Orleans, went crazy, and just was not in the right frame of mind, and just kind of lost who I was for a little bit. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time,
that happens in New Orleans when your mom dies.
Sure, but I was.
I knew that story because that's eerily similar.
That's eerily similar to what happened when my mom passed away. So
so you get it.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it.
And I sat with my wife, and who again was my girlfriend. I was just like, honey, I have no idea who I'm going to be at the end of this. I don't know if I can go back to the person I was. I don't know who that person is anymore. It's all different now. I don't think the same. I don't act the same. I'm going crazy. And then watching this woman who, eventually would become my wife, stick by me and fight through trying to figure out who I'm going to be and love me through all that. So this is like a fictional telling of that, of a guy who's lost his mind, and about this woman who's going at nothing, at everything to find the man who he once was, and save him from that. And it uses the biblical philosophy of equally yoked. Are you familiar with that?
Equally yoked?
Yeah, you become one flesh.
Like a binary star.
Yeah, you become one flesh. So one thing that affects one person will affect the other. You guys are one flesh, all that stuff. He claims it shows the good of Christianity, but
I'm not seeing any Cadbury mini eggs in these panels.
Dude, those are the good of Christianity.
That is a good part. That's a good part.
Sorry. I didn't to interrupt you guys being all
serious and talking about, not just metaphors, but the emotional resonance of those metaphors. And
I just ruin it. Blame Lobix. Yeah. I couldn't help it. He made me laugh. Hey, Ollie.
Doesn't he?
And hey, Derek.
Yep, we got Derek Clay with us. And Immortal Rising. What is up, Immortal Rising? Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Really glad to have all of you here with us. We're talking Voodoo Nations with Travis Gibb. And he was telling us about the significant, origin of this story, the personal origins of this story. And this is the supposedly final issue, but maybe not.
No, it's not. There's a fifth issue now, but this was supposed to be the first issue, the final issue. But I really had more to say in the world and really want to show some stuff. But this one's balls to the wall, nuts. We got cool Grim Reapers. Look at that. That's a double page spread to start us out. Very cool. You're using it as a backdrop. You can look at this page for hours. There's all sorts of really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, there's lots.
We got Eric the Guapo with us as well, and Ichthus too. What is it? Excellence. Eric, it's been a while, man. I miss you. I'm so glad to have you back. Ichthus, thank you so much for tuning in. I saw your draw stream the other night. It was really nice. The wrestling stream that you
Wrestling
did.
Gators?
Yeah, Wrestling Gators. That was it. Aldous said, if she's trying to bring her husband back to who he was, isn't that the exact opposite of the story you shared?
That's get to the ending, good sir. Get to the ending. We're not there yet.
There's more in store for you.
So is this art final? Like, is this I know it's not lettered, but is this like the
this
finished
book?
art
This
that you're
book has
showing
been
off?
done for over a year because of how much stuff I've had to put out. I just never got it in the thing because Hospice, Cthulhu, and Holiday Spirits all have set times. You have to launch them at set times. So yeah, it's wild, man.
This kind of kept getting pushed.
Yeah, in fact, we've done this before because I like to prove myself, and you knew it was already done because you know how I work. I'm going to send you that folder right now because I always do this. We always do this just to prove it. I always want to prove it. Not that anybody questioned me in any way, shape, or form, but I feel challenged by that question. Here we go.
Just to let everyone watching at home
You're sharing through the private chat, or there we go.
Yeah, a book that is.
I'm gonna. Oh, holy crap! Yeah, it's all the CMYK. Hey, you shared your print files with me. Nice.
That's like, hold on one second.
Download.
The way I left notes one time, we were on a stream. Because the one time we were here, and he lost his mind. He was like, "Oh, so this is how we edit. This is going to change everything.
This is changing my life." You actually leave notes on the art for people. Wow. Yeah, dude, these are cool.
Yeah. So RJ, if you've been reading along the whole time, there's a complete right there. But I sent you the big ones if you want to show the big ones.
I will in this thing. I gotta get to them. I have to actually add my screen. So
this could be a catastrophe.
Yeah, this could be very much a catastrophe. But tell me about the team. How you assembled that team? Because you're about.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, this book, much like anything related to voodoo, has been cursed. So we've had some various problems. The original creator with me, Luke Stone, is no longer works with. What the heck?
You almost said is no longer with us. I'm like, that's not.
This is what you sent me, right?
It's backwards for some reason. It's weird.
That happens when I open my. It's my computer.
Sorts things differently.
I didn't sort anything. It's just open that way. Which page do you want me to show?
Just go through them. Start at the top.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's start off at page 24. Let's read backwards. We'll read it backwards, guys. How about that? All right. Cool. Let me see here.
Mo says Neff has his computer set to weeb mode.
Yeah, because Voodoo Nation is so word sensitive, like you can't really spoil anything. You won't really know what's going on.
All right, you tell your story about RJ the character, then tell me about the team, and I will scroll through this. Awesome book.
And I got to address not a strong selling point. I promise you, it is a strong selling point. This person is possessed. I was not possessed. That's just me. That was
sure?
just me at the time.
I think
Henry's leaving notes. He's like, this needs lettering.
Right? Needs letters, guys. Where are the balloons? Where are they gonna go?
If you don't know, we sent out the digital of Cthulhu Invades Neverland yesterday.
Yep. And Ichthus says can't wait to get his copy.
He did some coloring in it.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
Dude,
we had you on for that.
What was I talking about? I don't even remember.
You're talking about possession and.
Oh, you wanted to know the team, how I got the team.
Yeah. How'd you put together the team?
So we originally, it was Luke Stone and I had created the character. He's he's a pastor. Both him and I it didn't end up working out in the end, but he did 2 issues. He did the first 2. And then I found Gillard, who I randomly just found on the thing, and he does some things. He does so many things epic and so differently than Luke that it really added this new style to it, which is really cool.
The thing that I'm most surprised at, though, I think, is the color.
Yeah. He is very, very
color
cool.
to you.
Ella Alonso, they come together. They kind of as a pair. They color each. There's certain people who can color that person the best.
Yep, I do.
No spoilers. You can't really spoil anything.
Pairings.
Mixing. Meaning like the words are so important on a book like this that you can't.
They give context to the art, so sometimes it's hard to tell the story from the art itself without the context of the words. Some things can be read completely without words. Some books.
I mean, you can read it, you can interpret it, but I think like the words that we put in this are like, look, she's got a sword now. But yeah, he's done really good. His yellows are really good. So we're in
it
the
might be our connection. It's usually
we're in the Day of the Dead arc. We're on the other side. Kind of like Coco, except for it's not so friendly and nice. Because that's what we did in issue 3. We crossed over.
I think it's me. I think when I engage my computer to share these pictures.
Yeah, how about you stop and I can share them on mine?
Okay, you do that because my thing seems to be overloading.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff is connected to the mic, the camera, and everything's connected to my computer. Yours is just sharing stuff. So why don't you, go into the private chat and show the rest of those pages?
Or it's my computer. There we go.
No, it's probably mine.
On the opportunity of it,
Moses, I actually have no issues with Luke. Luke decided to do his own thing, started Fund My Comics, joined Arrow Comics, did his own thing. I was not going to go that route. I'm not interested in that route. So we just parted ways. He sold me back my rights to it.
Dude, I am. Ma'am.
You're interested in Arrow Comics?
I'm very blind. No.
Oh.
It just said, holy cow, Neff, you are blind, because I'm zooming in
very
tight to kind of like get a good look at it.
Neff is definitely
I'm definitely blind. You should see the glasses.
Neff can't just look at a page. He's critiquing of how he could make it better in his head. That's even though without reading the script, he's already thinking of paneling of what he would have done without knowing what the script is and whether or not that would actually be relevant, because that's irrelevant to what he's trying to do.
I'm actually looking at the single page and I'm thinking to myself, how do these flowers cross-pollinate in this world that you've created? This person with the flaming sword. How does the sword feel in this panel? What are we trying to capture? Yeah. I'm just a jackass.
It's your fault. We'll never see Cthulhu and Spencer.
It's your fault. Yeah.
So it's your fault. We'll never see Cthulhu.
Yes.
Yes. Oof. That was good.
That's a deep cut mode. I don't even think you can even go in that without like giving a 3-year deep cut.
Seriously, that's some history.
Go ahead and show that Grim Reaper though really close up since we're on that page back there, because that Grim Reaper.
Yeah, because I'm blind.
Another page.
Our
another
audience
page.
also wants to see it.
I'm like, I don't think it's this page. This one.
Yeah, that fourth in the middle.
Dude, you're so bad at this.
I'm not. It's when you open a PDF in
look.
Google Drive.
There you go.
Leave comments.
You to put a comment on it. See, Neff started touching things, and now it's all.
And now it's fine. Oh wait, now it's not fine. Now it's fine. Yeah, see, it's fine as long as I touch it. As long as I touch it, it's fine.
Doesn't that make you want to just like write a whole Grim Reaper story now? Like that's the art that you get back. And you're like, yeah.
I think it's dope. I love.
And he's got a smile in the corner. If you scroll up a little bit, and then in the bottom left panel,
that's down. That's down.
Well, scroll down.
Scrolling up. Scrolling up means going down.
Am
Right.
I going in the correct direction?
I said it right. He just confused me. Look at that. So good.
Yeah, the grin, dude. That toothy grin. Very nice.
This issue in particular is so mind blowing. And last issue, like people really loved because we had the multiple fights between the Voodoo priests. Like it gets bigger and bigger and bolder every issue we get with this. It's a lot of fun.
So there is one more after this, but this is like a climactic issue in a way.
Yeah. Like so I wrote
really
the ending.
The things pick up.
I wrote this as the ending. And then at the end of it, I was just like, you know what? I don't think I want to end it there. I think I want to make it a little bit more satisfying. Because we had some.
So
we
had a climax, but you want a denouement, and that's going to be the 5th issue.
Correct. So
bring it all.
We cut off a little. I cut out a couple of pages to show you the actual ending. That's in the next part, and then it'll lead into and really show what happens to some of these other Voodoo priests and what's going on, because I really decided that when I started this, I didn't plan on stopping. I planned on doing a couple different arcs, but I think I want a one and done. I think I want a nice little done book. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's my plan for this. So we're gonna do one more. Probably get picked up by a publisher, so it'll probably have second life on the shelf. But yeah.
Now, this isn't the first thing that you've got that's been completed. You completed Broke Down, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I've completed Broke Down and Dog Days. Both of those are completed, so this would be the third. And then all the Cthulhu's are completed, but it's not all my writing,
Right. Those are all anthologies, and I mean, are you ever going to do a massive Cthulhu, a Cthulhu that invades Oz, Neverland, and Wonderland, and then take that to Spencer's?
Yes. Yeah, when I think of comic books and where they can be bought at the optimal place, I think Spencer's. So my end goal has always been Spencer's. Spencer's
is definitely where I think they should sell comics at Hot Topic.
Yeah. Right next to the piercing sections where you can buy the
little, you know what?
$5 piercings.
Pretzels or Cinnabon. That's where we should sell the comics. Yeah, totally exclusive market.
You're just hungry, and that's why you're coming up with those.
I mean, to be fair, Neff, you make jokes, but your book is big enough. It could be on the back of a pretzel or cookie box. One of those big on the back of it could be
double as a plate, right?
I mean, I don't think you're off the mark there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got to find interesting places to put these things, because it is getting harder out there with stores closing. Publishers aren't doing as well. I was hoping that they were. I started looking at numbers again, though, and I'm a little bit discouraged, a little bit nervous. What is your plan with this? Like you said, go to stores through a publisher. You've done that. You've gone with Scout. You've done Band of Bards, right? You've gone through Diamond. What's it like?
I thought that you submitted something to Mad Cave because you posted
about it very cryptically in one of your posts on the internet. I don't know how well
I can be more cryptic if you'd like.
What's that? You could be more cryptic? Okay.
I can be more cryptic if you'd like. I had a meeting with Mad Cave and I got to pitch some stuff privately.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
That is definitely awesome. But in going out into the world, right, beyond the crowdfunding, the borders, I should say, of crowdfunding, that little community, that little pond that people in crowdfunding are in, going out beyond that, what have you found? Have you found that it's worth pursuing? Have you found that enhances your sales, that going to stores raises your visibility? Is it like raising your presence online? Really from a guy like you who's done so much. I mean, hell, you were just at the Ringos this past year. What gets you furthest?
First off, you guys were at the Ringos too. You were at the same table.
Yeah, so.
Because my friends are welcome at my table. Let's make sure that's clear. So that's the end goal, is to get my friends at the table. If I have to get there first, that's fine.
So we're just going to take over the venue then, because you got a lot of friends, bro. We're just going to rent out the whole
hall. So the sad reality is any small publisher is not really going to make you a lot of money. If your goal is money, that's not going to really do anything for you. Yes, now and then there's a hit, right? Now and then there's a hit and you can make a decent amount of money, but but you're still not going to make like Kickstarter money, like high-end Kickstarter booby book money or Indiegogo 75-year campaigns and money, that never end. So you just keep adding to the goal and make it seem like you're bigger than everybody else.
Fourth chance for the second cover on the catch-up campaign. Yeah.
So that's, you're not going to do that, but you will make a little bit of money, and exposure is a thing. Yes. But it helps me get a little more cred. My goal is to get more cred. I want to make it so when I get to the point where I want to be, where a Marvel, a DC, or any publisher, that they can go, look at all the other places who've hired him. Look at all the things he's done in direct market. You would be stupid not to hire him. And then I can get some pay, right? And then hopefully that pay leads to more pay and etc. But I am 100% paying my dues. And I don't think that if you cannot afford it, you should always crowdfund first and only go to publishers that accept crowdfunding books after, because then you're not losing anything. You're not doing anything. But if your dream is direct market's the only way, yes, I've sold more books in the direct market than I've sold through Kickstarter, but I've made a hell of a lot more money on Kickstarter than I ever will in the direct market. So not ever will, but at the current rate. And as you said, stores, it's not only that stores are closing, the customer base is changing.
Yeah. That's actually a really good way to put it. It's people are moving to consume the medium in a different way.
Yeah. People want to ignore digital, but digital is benefiting, keeps being a thing. In fact, you should be fucking kissing Marvel and DC's ass that they decided that our shit's going to cost the same as it does in the stores. Because if they would have undercut that at the beginning, it would all have been over. People are like, they're trying to get us all to go digital. They're not, because if they didn't, they wouldn't price it that way. So that's the first thing. The second thing is COVID really hurt us in more ways than people think. So COVID had a really good collector's market. So a lot of indies got a little bit of exposure. There wasn't a lot of new stuff, pencils down. So a lot of people got, crowdfunding saw a big bust and more books got out. But the negative is, we then taught consumers, you know what? You don't need to go to that comic store. You don't need to have that clerk tell you what's going on, what the new thing is. You don't need to see that little indie book to the corner of the shelf at the end of the X-Men, right? Because it goes alphabetical right after X-Men, or in this case, now Zorro, right? It's be after Zorro. Those indie books. So you're not getting to see new stuff. So less and less people are seeing your things. And these small publishers are doing it. Then these small publishers really thought that it was the golden goose time during COVID. And we're seeing the results of that. I won't say I'm on the air, but I know of like 3 that are, two of them are shut completely and another one's on their way out. They're all on their way out. A lot of these big publishers that had good cred and meant a lot to the market because they overextended during COVID and couldn't keep up when Marvel and DC was like, oh yeah, we still make books. We just stopped for a little bit. Like we've got tons and people really like Batman and Spider-Man. So you should probably back up. And then Todd decided, hey, I want more of this money. So I'm going to make 14 Spawn titles. You're welcome.
Mobic says the last book on the shelf is Zuckerberg's Reptilian Rough Rider.
Oh no! Don't get us started on reptiles. Well,
hey, I would read that book.
Hey, Chauncey, we got Chauncey Blakely with us.
We also
Blakely, not Blakely.
No,
Blakely.
Blakey.
Man, I'm back at it. Chauncey, you haven't been here in a while, man. I'm forgetting how to say your name. Something we got to rectify.
Jeremy Ice and Fire.
Yeah, we got LCH with us.
And we have Dean.
Yeah, we got Dean.
I'm not going to do my terrible Australian accent.
You should.
Just pretend.
We'll just put you on the spot for it. Yeah.
Aldous says the exposure of indie books during that time was a net negative due to the general quality of the majority of those books.
A lot of those books were rushed too because I think people were trying to capitalize on the momentum of crowdfunding during COVID. Like a lot of people jumped in to try and make stuff. It was like the PPE boom, right? A lot of people started investing in PPE, personal protective equipment, right? And like N95s. They saw a market for it, so they tried to tap that market as quickly as possible. And I think a lot of people try to do that with crowdfunded indie comics. Because when indie publishers don't have an outlet for the books that they would normally put in stores, right? They can't capitalize on it unless they are going digital. We also had did Comixology shut down shortly after COVID too? Like, didn't we see them start to fall apart? Aldous said, combine that with the increase in quality mainstream releases, you get the current situation. I mean, that's fair. We have had a quality issue, but at the same time, Aldous, you and I both agree. There is plenty of stuff in the industry scene to be reading that is improving dramatically. I think the more that we see publishers, and actually Adam and I are going to do a conversation about this tomorrow, the more we see these smaller publishers kind of come out of the woodwork and have people gravitate to writing new, interesting things underneath them, the more we're going to see fresh takes in comic books.
Well, the problem is we keep attacking the mainstream and saying they don't know. They absolutely, they know that long form storytelling works. Anyone who they've hired, Chip Zdarsky went from Daredevil, a 7-year run, long form storytelling like manga, because that's what I believe is why manga is killing us, is the long form storytelling, moved on to Batman. They get it. They absolute get it. Jed McKay is doing everything at Marvel because of his long form storytelling on Moon Knight. Jason Aaron, long form. Anyone you've heard about who matters, who's telling good stories in the big two, are doing long form storytelling, and they're hiding in the smaller books, and then they get thrown on the bigger books, right? Donny Cates' Venom run. Nobody gave a shit about Venom until Donny Cates is like, I'm going to write this for the next 10 years. So we're getting to that. The problem is those number ones still push up those numbers to keep the bosses happy at Warner Brothers and Disney, because the stuff. So they're hiding, they know it, and they're just hiding it into the lower titles until these people blow up too much. They move them up, and then they ruin them and go through the cycle again. Because I think it's a way more complex issue than just people are thinking, right?
Water Rising says Bancroft just tweeted about needing a post-nostalgia era in entertainment. What does he mean by that? Does he mean like as far as like the member berries of Spider-Man, Batman, all of the stuff that we liked when we were children, moving away from that because those things are no longer the things that we, enjoyed when we were kids, and like the new incarnations are just capitalizing on that nostalgia. So we need something to, I guess, and not necessarily compete, but to replace that. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in the industry from other publishers. Everyone focuses on Marvel and DC, or even like Spawn, over at Image. But Image is cranking out a whole bunch of stuff. We've got, like you said, who you pitched. You got Mad Cave, you got Dark Horse, you've got Vault, you got Boom, you got all these other publishers out there that are putting stuff out that is post nostalgia because they don't have franchise entertainment. I mean, Boom does. They got Thundercats, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, and some of that stuff works, some of it doesn't. Like, I just finished the second Kevin Smith He-Man, and I didn't realize that I was nostalgic for it until I watched that, because the first one was so different, right? It focused on Tila and blah blah blah. But when I saw the second and the Hornet, I was like, oh shit, I care about these. So it's interesting to figure out that, and Marvel. I think Marvel's the biggest contributor of it. They heard people, oh, we want new characters, but instead of giving you new characters, they just revamped old characters and made them different, right? Like Falcon Cap or She-Thor and all these things. And all those characters are super interesting. I actually like all of them. I don't like it when I don't recognize my shelf because you did it all at once, right? When I'm looking at my shelf and it's all of these variations of my characters, then you're like, oh, what is going on here? Like, this is not... There's nothing familiar for me to feel safe, right? Second He-Man was really good. Yeah, the second He-Man is really good, like shockingly good. Okay, I'll sub to
Comics Mate. That's Dean. That's Odin's artist.
It's a little scary, but I'll try it.
He's got a really cool VTuber avatar that on his face.
Yeah,
and it talks and says stuff on his
videos. like Niobe's
better than Larry's, because Dean's mouth actually works. Larry's mouth is broken.
Why do we need those things? I don't understand.
I don't know, because some people don't want to show their face on a stream. I don't know, maybe they're concerned that they're ugly. Maybe they don't want to have to do a backdrop, or they don't want to stream from their filthy hovels that they live in. I don't know.
Oh, they want to smoke pot on air. Okay, I got it. Sorry, thanks.
I don't think Dean smokes pot personally. I mean, he's way too wound up to be a pot smoker.
I have just subbed to that channel. We'll see how it goes.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, Dean was on the march to 1,000. I think he just broke that. Speaking of 1,000, we're looking for
people like cartoons.
Yeah, because people like cartoons. That is true.
Mobig says Dean smokes crack, not pot.
That explains why he's always so amped up.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're a little under. I'm curious, and this is something that maybe you should be concerned of. Maybe you're not. I don't know if it's because I do so many books, but normally we're in like the 250 range. Closer to 6,000. This is a little
It's been slowing. It's been slowing a lot. I've noticed looking at a lot of the people's campaigns who I normally back, a lot of the people that I'm familiar with on the Indiegogo side, and some of the people I'm familiar with on the Kickstarter side, the totals have been lower. Um, it's hard out there right now economically, so
Sure.
people are shying away from things that aren't instantly gratifying. You know, I started calling this back in the beginning of 2023. I'm like, we're going to see a decline in crowdfunding because it is not instant gratification. It is more expensive than something that is instant gratification. It is a niche product, right? Like it is not a easily quickly manufactured product. So if you want the next story, you're going to have to wait however long it takes Travis to release the next Voodoo Nations, right? Whereas, whatever, Thundercats is on the stands every month. So we're seeing all of these other factors contribute to lower totals. It's not going away by any means, but this year I think especially you're going to see lower totals across the board for everybody. It might pick up after the election.
Yeah.
We might see a return to form, people getting excited, depending on how the election goes.
I think that's part of what Aldous was saying before with like the current situation that we have, like in regards to crowdfunding as well, whereas like the mainstream books, not just the big two, but like Image and Boom, the quality of those books have gone up. There's a lot of really good stuff on the stands. I mean, I come home every Wednesday from my pull list, and if it's like, did you leave any books in the
Yeah, I mean, we just
store?
talked about these, like I'm editing this episode, but this is a really exciting format, right? Six Fingers in the one hand, Ram V and Dan Watters doing like a cross, I guess like a connecting story told from two different perspectives, but it's the same plot. Like that's freaking awesome that you've got a publisher that can put that out, right? That's really interesting and fresh, and I think seeing stuff like that, permeating or at least percolating within the industry. I don't call it mainstream. I call Marvel and DC mainstream.
Fair.
I call everybody in distribution industry. That is the separation between
That's
me
fair.
and Aldous. And then everyone who is not distributed in stores through Diamond or whatever, they're indie, right? They're accessing their customer base through
So
different
then Travis
channels.
would be indie and
Industry. Yes.
He
Yes.
does it all, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm double
I mean,
I.
you can say you're mainstream. That's fine. It's just that the terminology tends to get confusing because I want to exclude the big two from any of the industry talk, because when I look at the health of comics, the big two keep doing the same thing. So when we talk about innovation, we can't talk about innovation within the mainstream. We have to talk about innovation within the industry, and you have to, I don't know, like sequester Marvel and DC entirely on their own. I don't want to say segregate because there's the wrong connotation there, but you have to sequester Marvel and DC over here while we talk about everyone else trying to do new and dynamic things to try and capitalize and capture the reader in the industry, in the comics industry right now. Look at that. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Are these all of the books that are available in the digital?
And there's a digital tier where you can get everything.
Previously successful. Okay. Yeah, all
But
this
those are
price
all
point is king. An overpriced delay marginal story art is not going to continue to grow, and the industry, as Neff said, is moving back to quality releases. Absolutely, and that is why everybody needs to be getting their price points down. And also, here's a big thing, getting the shipping down. People, like, you've said it forever. People, and this is one of the original criticisms that you had of Indiegogo is you want $5 shipping like you see on Kickstarter, and you can't abide by people overcharging like $10 for a floppy. And I completely agree. In a market like what we're in now, you cannot ask your audience to pay $20 for your 24, 28 page book, or even your 50-page book, and then drop another 10 for shipping. You're not keeping up with the curve, right? The money curve.
Yeah, let's be honest. So a Kickstarter book is between $10 and $20, right? And it's 10, sometimes 12, sometimes 15, sometimes 18, 20. And then you want to make money on the shipping too. That's no bueno to me, right? Like you have picked your price point, and you could have checked any price point between $10 and $20. And I'm telling you, as someone who does this, probably would have been fine any of those price points. Probably not at 20, but if you go 12 to 15, you're okay. Any of those price points. And then you try to gouge them again on shipping. No, man, like that's not what this is about.
Personally, I don't think the creators gouge. I think they're lazy. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I think that most creators who don't really investigate how to lower their shipping costs. So like, oh, $10 shipping, that's the standard. And maybe lazy is not the right word. Maybe uninspired to give the customer a break financially, right? Or who doesn't want to go and do, or doesn't know how to go out and do the legwork. But I think a lot of people are just like, oh, it's $10 because, shipping's expensive and I need to get my supplies. But I know Luke and I had plenty of arguments about shipping in the past. I've actually raked him over the coals about it. But I really think that a customer doesn't want to be paying those inflated prices. You can't then take the shipping price and hide it in the book, right? Like we've got to get both sides of the coin down in price, and we've got to search for ways to do that. One of the ways that I think we're doing it now is we found a local printer. We found an industrial printer that'll print locally, so we don't have to pay shipping on our books, which is a nice help for us. We don't have to pay to have our books shipped us. We just go pick them up. Yeah. And saving the delivery fee allows me to lower my overall shipping cost to my backers. I'm not saving money like I would, like I've already budgeted for that. If I got my books from overseas and I spent $1,000 on shipping, that $1,000 is now being put to lowering the shipping costs for my customers. I'm not saving that money. But I'll get more customers because my shipping prices are lower.
Hey, look, you can now have little pictures down here on Kickstarter too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what we need? We need Kickstarter to do?
Have
secret Travis, can you make that happen? I know you know people. Can you just be like, yo, my guy needs...
I've actually brought it up for you in a meeting once.
Thank you.
You don't like the answer though.
They said no.
Well, because they want transparency. Like the reason why they stayed away from
coupon code.
Yeah, because I want to be able to give a special deal to the people on my mailing list who sign up, right? Like,
or like people who've backed, a series before, kind of thing.
I don't want to gatekeep my loyal
customers. Have you seen what Indiegogo does now? They have like a pre-launch page where you can get a discount when it first launches, like if you pay a little bit beforehand. It's wild.
I haven't been paying attention to what Indiegogo does because fuck you, Indiegogo. That's why.
Oh, yeah, I agree, but I saw that really cool thing and I was like, hey, look at that.
Yeah, I really can't look at Indiegogo because none of the people's projects are in the comic book section the way that they're supposed to be. Trending doesn't trend. Recently funded is showing me projects from 5 years ago that didn't hit their goal. The entire site is a gosh darn mess. Completely disorganized.
Like
what? Oh yeah, they dox everybody. They
creators.
They doxed all the creators' addresses. It was bad. Yeah, I'm done with Indiegogo. All this is never attributed to negativity. What's that?
I've been done with it for years, so I can catch
it. You're like, so first time. Yeah, all this is never attributed to negativity. What can easily be explained away by incompetence. Fair enough. So creators aren't lazy; they're just stupid about shipping.
That's getting clipped, right?
Oh, I should not do live things on the internet. I really shouldn't.
In Kickstarter, I think in Indiegogo too, we're seeing a big influx of the booby books, right? The naked books and stuff like that. And the reason why I think we're seeing that is a couple things. I think people have really started to embrace that to get attention over on Kickstarter. Or any of these platforms, is you need to do something that's not in the direct market. And that's not in the direct market. You don't see that at your comic store. So I think that that's part of it. I also realize that, there is a high majority of people, unfortunately, in comics, which stress me out tremendously, who care more about the money aspect than the art aspect. So they see
the storytelling.
Yep.
Right. Sometimes people don't have great art, but they've got great storytelling.
Yeah, I've got good boobs, so therefore I can charge $35 a cover, and nobody's gonna get mad. And that $10 ship is not gonna upset me because they want their boobs in pristine condition. Because who wants to pay for faulty boobs? Nobody wants.
I mean, it's fair. If you're gonna pay for boobs, they should at least come in good condition.
If you need a message like warning, the opinions of the host and chat are not serious. Please don't sue me. Yes, I need the disclaimer. Some person, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'll make a little banner.
Right, and I can hide behind that and give you my serious opinions. Be like, nah, but it's satire.
Can we take callers?
right?
I love that this says all 4 covers, and I realized there's 5 covers, which is interesting.
That's all right.
Oh no, it's Voodoo Nations 4.
It says Voodoo
all
Nations
covers.
4, and then 5 covers
Oh,
in
yeah.
one set.
I read
Yeah.
But
it as all 4 covers too. I don't know. I flipped it there.
You
I
read?
don't know what I did. No,
Does
I-
it words?
It doesn't words.
It doesn't
It
words.
doesn't words.
But yeah, I think that's going to happen. I also think, like, for me, like, I think this book would have done better. The negative of doing books as often as I do is me having delay on any of my projects. Like this one is a year from the last one. We see a decline. However, if I keep doing them consistently, they keep going up because people start counting on them, right? You don't care after a while. And you don't care, not because you don't care about necessarily the book, but I do so many other books. You now pick and choose the books you like instead of, I got to wait for that new one because I'm really excited. Disclaimer in those.
Right. I mean, we're in a similar boat with Mavericks, mainly because it takes so long to develop the book. You know, like with the art, you know, going slowly, doing, because we're doing like the whole thing, right? And I want to have it all done before we crowdfund. I can't just be like, here's 10 pages, back my book now. I'll give it to you in a year, you know, because then people get it in a year and it's all exciting. And then, oh, there's a sign up and, you know, you put your money in and then you have to wait another year. That is why we're seeing a decline. The instant gratification is not there. People want to back a book and then get a book, but then they also want to be able to wait 3 months and get the next one. And it's like, well, there's a reason industry publishers are industry and indie publishers are indie. Mainly because it costs a lot of money to develop those books, and not a lot of indie publishers actually have that kind of money.
Right. Or do they want to invest it? You know, because they don't. People say 5 pages is good enough. Some people are just willing to do the good enough. You and I are in the same boat, like about that stuff. You know, my books are mostly done before I launch, but some people are like, "What's the minimum I can do to get the money today?"
Right. Dean says, for educational purposes works for everything. We don't need a disclaimer that says satire if it's for educational purposes.
Snuggie wants so if you send Snuggie the link right now, I will hold off and send it to you 4 years from now if you'd like.
Just for you, Snuggie.
Yeah, but you have to keep telling Snuggie that it's not done. Like every 6 months, you have to tell him.
Like, in fact,
and then yell at him for asking.
Yeah,
that completes the whole picture.
Yeah, make sure you leave comments, and I will tell you you can't get a refund. That'll be very
crowdfunding experience. Getting yelled at by the creator for asking questions. Yeah.
Right. I definitely want to make sure that you wait as long as possible.
Mobig says, if you find my opinions unserious, pull up. We about business. I'm sorry, business. Shout out. I mean, what it is
Snuggie says, yeah, post the same page in various stages of completion as updates too.
Right.
Yeah, they like it when you post the same page a year later and show that we're still working, guys.
And then you have to
tell him he's ungrateful, right? God, dude, it's like there's a science to this. We already know all of the steps, right? It's so familiar.
I believe it's called customer service. And make sure that if someone at your same level calls you out for it, you bring all your minions to go to war with them for at least 6 to 8 months.
Piranha people, unleash your piranha people today.
What are you, WC? Trav's got it.
Yeah, Trav's got it. Yeah, he knows.
I know how this works.
He's been around. He's been around long enough to back 1,000+ projects and launch 25 on one platform.
Launch 1,000 of them as well.
Launch 1,000 ships. Do you want to show everybody coins, because that's the new one coming up?
Yeah, well, we'll buy this one first, guys. Click the link. Go ahead and back it. I'd love to see new backers. So if you haven't stuff, if you back it, you let me know you came from the show. I will give you one of these. Look at these.
Oh wait, I got to make you big. There you go.
We're doing
I clicked the button. What is your problem?
I'll give you a cool coaster. I'll put it in your package.
Ooh, a coaster.
That is cool.
And Snuggie, you can wait 4 years for it. Everyone else, I will get it in a reasonable amount of time, probably April. But everybody else, Snuggie, 4 years.
Right.
That's true. Mobig says Miranda backed it earlier. That is.
I'll double check, but yeah, I'll make sure she gets it if that's the case. Yeah.
Yep, she
So.
said it at the beginning.
I'm hoping to get back to my 200. I think I still will, but we'll make sure it's good. Yep, Miranda
So
did.
this
We'll
is
get
awesome.
you getting care of.
Cool.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Miranda.
I'm gonna share the
Dude, I really
Oh.
like this one particular perk. I mean, we have the Voodoo Nations books,
yes,
so
we do.
I don't need to get like the big catch up tier. And personally, I don't really need all 4 covers all the time. But this tier with the
Wait.
Night and Day
I
collection,
just stopped sharing that and started sharing the
dude, that is great. It's got the
Oh.
2 cool covers that have like the glow and the fire and stuff on them.
Well,
Like,
we've
you
done
scroll
that
down.
every campaign. We've done the night and
Yeah,
day
there's
variant.
always a night and day.
Yeah, and this one I think is particular. Look at that, man.
Yeah,
Look
this
at
one,
that. That's
unlike the
great.
normal
Can't see
ones,
it
we
too
actually
much.
have different art for each one. It's not just recoloring.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
So that's your night
like
your
that.
night and day collection.
Yeah, and it's only $25 for two books. You know, one book to read and one book to keep.
We also have a really cool
Variants.
skull collection at the bottom. If you go to, it's a little bit more money, but it's a skull covers, all virgin. And if you read the book, there are various.
I see it. Yeah, 80.
It's very
Limited
very
run
cool.
Voodoo Nation 1
Yeah.
through 4 skull.
So you're basically paying $20 a book.
Oh, so it is all 4 books.
It all
And
4
it's
books.
new
It's
variants. Ah.
Well, there was
Well,
a skull variant on each.
So it was
release,
just
each
the
issue.
skull variants from those issues.
Yes.
Now I understand.
yeah, and
I
actually
see.
number 1 was not a skull variant that was available for everyone. The skull variant was a store exclusive, but I got them to give it to me to do a version for this. So issue 1 and 4 are brand new. You may have 2 and 3 if you got like collector's kits or whatever the case for, but
Yeah, I really like the skull variant for 3. That's because it's a sugar skull and a basic girl, so I like sugar skulls. What can I say?
Yeah.
We
like
looking
the
at the
skull variant.
add-ons here. I'll ask you later. I should stop looking. at
I'm
the
like, I
thing.
think Neff is shopping.
Yeah, I'm shopping.
Neff is
While
shopping.
he's shopping, back,
Yeah,
Voodoo
back to
Nations.
Coins of Judas.
and I will pop over so everyone can sign up for the new.
The ketchup
Coins
tier is a
of Judas.
must start. We do have a regular ketchup tier that's affordable at the $40 range. I think it's 40. But yeah, the big one, the big more expensive one is that.
Travis, I have a problem.
What's
Let's
that?
buy everything.
Well, with the limited run Voodoo Nations 1 through 4 skulls, right? I'm getting issue 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the skull variants. But I
Mhm.
want to add on the fire covers from issue 4. And it's not an add-on in the add-on section.
It's not.
I don't see it. I see Voodoo Nations single back, and then I see Cthulhu Invades, Holiday Spirits, Pup Van Winkle, Coins of Judas, Expired. All of the freaking
I'll get you,
awesome
Finn.
books that you've done. I don't see it though. I don't
I
know
think
where
he's
it is.
gonna make it for you.
He's gonna
later.
add. Yes.
Well, I'll make it for you, but I think there is a solution already there. There's a random variant. There's a single
Oh,
back.
okay. I thought that was only for books 1 through 3.
No,
it
that's
says
the one below
$7
it.
with.
That's the one
yeah.
below it. That's $7. But there's a random variant, so you could either do. All right. So you want just the fire one?
I want the night and day. See, I
Night
can't
and
do
day?
both. You know what? We'll just make a second account. That's all. We'll just back
No,
it
I-
twice.
I have my.
Yeah, we'll just back it
personal
twice.
account.
Dude, I'll give it a second. How much is the night and day on the front? 20?
25 on the tier.
So
as a tier.
yeah, so we'll be 20 on the back end. We'll take $10 off or $5 off. And it'll be there in 2 seconds. I apologize. See, this is the kind of service you'll get. Except for
Seriously,
you,
like
Snuggy.
the creator is live, making
Except
a
for you,
tier
Snuggy,
for a
again.
customer. Just
Snuggy,
yeah.
there's a tier in the back that says the 4-year add-on.
4-year tier.
That's
Dude, you
only
gotta
for
make
you.
it now. You've got to back it, Snuggy. You've got to back it. So it's
There's
a
a
4-year
tier that's 4 years that just adds time for delivery so you can be prepared.
That's ridiculous. I'm a fan. I approve.
I kind of want to add it now. I kind of feel like I should add it to all my campaigns.
Just the
Like all
4-year
my
tier.
campaigns. If you want to be yelled at and talked down to for the next 4 years, here you go.
That's fantastic. I'm still looking for it. I will wait for
I got it.
a
Hold
few
on.
more
It's-
minutes
it's-
before I
it's
click.
getting
It's
added.
okay. It's okay. I don't want to like take up time on the air.
I
We
don't
can
know
do
what
this later.
Mo shared a link to
I don't know what the
something
link
on
goes to.
YouTube. But I will...
All right. So you're going to add,
Oh.
if you bring up
Thank you, Mo.
the Coins of Judas, I can talk about it while I'm doing this.
Yeah, yeah. It is up on the screen. Dean says
All
all
right.
this talk of respecting customers is making me uncomfortable. Unsubbed.
Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
And we
So
get Sumo. What's up, Sumo? I'm sorry, Travis. Go ahead.
this is exactly what you were talking about before, Neff. Trying to find a balance between going into the comic stores to try to get that buzz, but also making something exclusive for the Kickstarter audience, because I have audiences on both. So this is going to do that. So right now, if you go to diamond.com, you can order the Gambler. The Gambler, you can add it to your pull list. The normal $5. Where it holds. Damn it. Sumo knows my whole plot.
That's it. Cancel the Kickstarter. Thank you, Snuggie.
Thanks, Snuggie.
He says he's on the road. Check out the campaign page later.
And Snuggie is international, right? International bug.
No, I think he's local. He's local.
Any of my international, though, if you don't know, all of my campaigns, what I do is I give them a tier above what they order because of the extra shipping. So whatever they order, I give them the next tier, so they don't have to spend the extra money. They'll get whatever they wanted and then the next tier.
Thanks.
So, all right, Coins of Judas. So what we're going to do, so in Diamond, you're going to be able to order the next floppies for the Gambler, 1 and 2. However, on Kickstarter, we're also going to offer those floppies, obviously at Kickstarter rates versus the Kickstarter. But if you don't want to wait for the trade, we have an exclusive trade. It's going to be right for the Kickstarter. It's going to be hardcover, ready to go. You don't have to wait for all the issues to come out. It's going to be done. All the book will be done before we launch, which is really cool. So it'll be ready to go to the printer. It's a very, very cool. So it'll be Coins of Judas 1 through 4, which is Coins of Judas 1 and 2, and Coins of Judas Gablo 1 and 2. We do 2-issue arcs. So it's really cool. So you get the Tyler Carpenter arcs and you get the Rollins arc all together in one combined thing. We're going to add an extra 4 pages. We're going to add an extra 4 pages, meaning another new story that's 4 pages long. And then we're going to give you like a Marvel guide of the 6 demons that we've introduced so far.
Nice. Yeah, I think the concept of Coins of Judas is very, very cool. I really like the idea there, with they're all like bound. The demons are bound in the pieces of silver. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, it's super fun. I'm excited about it. If you want to see that full cover, I can send it to you real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to show it.
Looks cool here.
Yeah, you're just seeing the little thing. But yeah, so this is just a pre-launch page, guys. Click it, even if you don't plan on backing. Just click it to make me feel bigger and bolder, and like I'm important. Okay?
Make Travis bigger.
It's free.
Right? I want to feel important. That's all I need. It's just
button and it says save. And then you can just ignore the email when it comes out.
Like I do.
If you're Neff.
I mean, I prefer you didn't, but you can.
Well, I mean, I backed the book. I just ignore the email.
Yeah.
It's an email. Yeah, I don't read
I don't open those.
They're electronic. I can't take it seriously.
But yeah, because next month
don't open paper mail.
I don't get to use my letter opener. That's what it is.
we're gonna have 2 campaigns next month. So this is the Band of Bards one, and then we have a new Broke Down coming out. It's an anthology, 30 pages. So it's gonna be kind of fun.
Snap.
That is very cool.
Because I need more books out in a month.
Yeah,
right?
Sound like
more crowdfulfing campaigns.
And again, what's important is keeping this for this delay of 4 years.
Yeah, making sure that there's enough time between projects. You don't want to overload the customer, right? It's better to have a drought than a flood.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So
because that's how crops grow. Right?
We sparingly release them as necessary.
Snuggie says emails shmee.
Dean says, "Okay, I'm resubbing. Thank you."
But yeah, so that's the full cover, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And that's going to be embossed logo and embossed coin. They're going to be touchable and nice and shiny.
Nice.
You're going to emboss the coins
and the people. So you see how there's a layer above. All that'll be embossed.
Yep. Cool.
Very cool.
I dig it. I really like that.
They'll be pretty. There'll be a hardcover. There'll be a soft cover. We're gonna go all the whole thing.
What?
Neff keeps looking at it on my computer and moving it to where he wants it, but because of how it shares on the screen here, we were like just looking at their feet, and you're like, "Yeah, that's really good."
I'm looking at the coins here, silly.
I understand.
These. I'm looking at the.
You've been married to
Pretty
him
much all
enough that you know his foot thing. Let's not pretend. You know,
No, I went
Not-
for thighs, Travis.
oh,
It's gotta
I
be
didn't know.
thighs.
See, I think you should have
carriage
a.
thigh in particular.
I think you should have a thing for hips because hips don't lie enough. They don't.
That is true. Hips do not lie.
And you like the truth. So.
I am a fan of the truth. So, is there anything else you want to tell everybody? Before we wrap it on up, we got a couple of people looking at Voodoo Nations. It's the 4th book in the series. 5th book is on the way. Travis, I don't know how far you are in the process of writing and having it drawn, but you guys can be.
So yeah, my guy's really fast, so I haven't written it, but it is one of those 300 pages that I got to write before the end of the month. It's very doable.
That you're getting yelled at for. So you guys can be confident that Travis is going to produce the 5th book, and it'll be out probably alongside one of his other Kickstarter campaigns. That he launches every month. What?
150 backers.
Hey, 150 backers. Awesome.
Yay!
150. That's cool.
Thank you.
So yeah, you want to tell anybody anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, how do I get Mo to back my stuff? Like, what do you do?
Oh, dude, I don't know. That's the thing is, like, nobody knows who Mo is. I'm convinced Mo is an entity from deep within the internet.
Mo has a question.
Oh, he's got a question. He says,
when do we get the Judas Benedict Arnold team-up book? Can our backstabbing boys stop the wrath of Cthulhu?
I want to see the. I want to see Judex and coins of Judas, so that there's all these coins everywhere. Yeah, coins of Judex. Yeah, there you go. Because we have a coin that was. Did you ever think about doing that? Doing like a collectible coin?
There will be a collectible coin in the campaign, Neff. You're all in.
Nice. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
We can compare coins. We'll have them up next to each other.
Me and Neff can share a bucket of chicken. He can have the thighs, and I'll take the other stuff. Yeah.
Take, not talk.
But I am writing a book called The Federalist, and Benedict Arnold will be part of it in some of it. So maybe we could do that because Judas is a character in The Gambler. So I could actually make all that happen, Mo Biggs, if I decided to share all my universes. I could make that happen. What should I do a crossover, Neff? When I do a crossover, because it's going to be big. And what I want to do is like buy a random issue and like at the end of it, have that appearance, right? Like I don't announce a crossover, but like the last panel is like a Bishop Lucas or like the Coins of Judas people. Like what crossover of the Orange Cone do you think I should do?
Oh, that is a tough question to answer. But honestly, right now we're talking about 2 properties that could go hand in hand. You've got, Voodoo Nations, Coins of Judas. There's that supernatural, mystical element to both of them. You've got voodoo on the one hand, you've got the curses and the demons on the other. Those 2, I think, would complement each other well. I haven't seen much more of Expired. I don't know how far along you are and how much more you're doing of it. I think Granite State Punk is probably your best work, but I don't know if it crosses over with stuff very well. I'm not sure. I didn't read the cottage cheese one. Pup Van Winkle is cute, but I don't think it works with Voodoo Nations or Broke Down. That would actually be awesome. Pup Van Winkle and Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies. broke Down and Pup Van Winkle. Pup Van Winkle and 4 Dead Bodies. That would be fun.
I wanted to for one of these anniversaries. I'll probably do it. I want to do a book that's all orange. The only color used is shades of orange.
Everything else going to be like shades of gray, like black and white.
Yeah, it'll be black and white and orange. So like the black, white, and red and all that, but just use orange for Orange Cone, and then do
probably
like
a Halloween book.
Yeah, absolutely. Make it like a Halloween special. But put all of our universes in one, format and play with it, because we've got some cool stuff coming out this year, man. We start the new Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales is the next one. We're changing we're changing the format of Holiday Spirits. It's going to be an anthology still, but this year, which is really going to be cool, it's going to be monsters. So it's going to be what monsters do during the holidays. So Frankenstein, Bigfoot, Dracula, things. So they're going to celebrate. And I've only got, I've got some really big people on it, which is really cool. Granite State Punk and the Federalists and Live
Bruh,
Free.
I
Live
want.
free or punk is dead. That's it. That's right there. That's it.
They have to choose. Either Punk is dead or you have to live free. Which one is it?
I want to write the Mummy wrapping Christmas presents.
Neff, it's yours.
Yeah, baby.
You want to make it
Yes.
official?
I have to figure out an actual narrative to go with it because you know my obsession with actually making
Right.
things make sense. But I just had that thought in my head of the Mummy with all of his bandages wrapping Christmas presents. And I just thought that would be adorable. With the
And
Christmas
body
tree.
parts are falling out, but he has to keep. He has
I
to
mean,
get
it's
the
much better than like because you said holidays, right? It's not just one holiday. It's much better than the Mummy celebrating Hanukkah because then you got the menorah and all those
And,
bandages
yeah,
are
that's-
flammable, and that's just a
fire
nightmare
hazard.
waiting to happen, right?
But no, it's going to be wild. We've got some really big people on it. We've got, you guys from New England, so that I've got both Joe Smelky, I've got Rich Woodall in it. They're going to be doing some stuff. We've got David Pepos, who's doing Savage Avengers and Punisher right now over at Marvel. He's doing some stuff in it. We've got David Alonzo, who does Vampirella, not Vampirella, the girl with an E, Elvira. He does Elvira for Boom or Dynamite or wherever that is. Like all these really good people doing some really cool stuff. But yes,
Nice.
I will give you the money, Neff, the Mummy Neff.
Okay, cool. I mean, you could give me the money too.
Well, you get
on
paid.
that note, on that note, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We do have to dash. I got to go get back to work, or my editor is going to have my spleen. So if you enjoyed the content, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to back Voodoo Nations 1 through 4 on Kickstarter right now and sign up for Coins of Judex. And as always, you should click the bell icon to be notified when we go live next.
And tune into the frequency.
We'll see you next time.